Hello, my fiery friends. Welcome to another fiery fun stream. I'm your host, the Infernoman here, and hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you are at. Sorry for the late delay there. We kind of got held up this morning because of a couple other errands, of course, I had to do, personal matters, and of course, I actually had to eat lunch at some point. But in any case, glad we are all here together today. Also, of course, I realized today was day one of Tarkir Dragonstorm spoilers. So, what exactly will be out there? I mean, there's a couple of cards that I definitely want to talk about, and some cards that look absolutely broken already on day one. But we'll hopefully, maybe at the end of the stream, we'll see if we could talk about a couple of cards if we have time. But of course, we are here to play our latest and hottest deck tech. What exactly are we going to be playing today? Well, I'm glad you asked. So without further ado, let's just show you what we're cooking today. Oh man, this is going to be so awesome here, by the way. There we go. All right. Okay. So let's see what we got here. So we are all going to be hailing the awesomeness of Sab-Sunen Luxa Embodied, your new frog god mommy here. Oh yeah, I know what I said there. So this card, of course, is actually pretty awesome. I'm usually not much of a Simic player because I usually don't play blue and green together, but this card is actually incredibly powerful once we, of course, start getting her to go off here. So, as always, for those of you who are brand new, of course, to the stream, or those of you who have been, of course, longtime viewers, as always, you know how this game plan works. We're, of course, going to be talking about the deck in full. We'll go over all the stats of it, the game plan, of course, and then we're going to try to play as many matches as possible on the budget version to start. But for those of you that like to go a little bit more higher in power level, we'll, of course, do midway through the stream an upgraded version of the deck so that way you kind of get a flex to see how well the deck can do if you actually really want to invest in it. Oh, hey, Dan Splendid. As always, thanks again for joining us, my fire friend. Glad you're here to join us. Hopefully, again, you're having a wonderful day where you're at. So let's go ahead, let's begin now, because again, as always, when we do Brawl decks, it definitely takes a while for us to get through all the cards. So I'm going to try to see how quick I can do this. So starting, of course, off with the stats as always, because longtime viewers of the channel know how we do it, we have to talk about the stats of the deck before we dive completely in. So the Frog God Mommy deck is going to be, as I just mentioned, Simic colors with an average mana curve of about 2.4. You're looking at about, blue and green, and of course a splash of some colorless support. We'll be rocking 24 creatures in the deck. We'll be rocking, of course, 16 instants, 11 sorceries, 5 artifacts, 7 enchantments, 1 planeswalker, and 37 lands. Now, how does this all work? Well, literally everything is going to be focused on, of course, trying to get out Sab-Sunen here as fast as possible. So let's talk about this card particularly before we completely go all in. So Sab-Sunen here, Luxa Embodied, is a 5-mana Simic 6/6 legendary creature god with reach, trample, and indestructible. So it's going to be very hard to get this card off the battlefield. Sab-Sunen, however, cannot attack or block unless it has an even number of counters on it, and 0 is, of course, even. At the beginning of our first main phase, you get a +1/+1 counter on Sab-Sunen. Then, if it has an odd number of counters on it, you get to draw 2 cards. So, the key, of course, to making this card go off as best as possible is we got to keep alternating between odd and even counters. There are, of course, going to be a couple of cards in the deck that will allow us to double up those counters. So, no matter what, once we get to a certain point, we might have to just kind of lock her into either just getting us cards or just getting us basically a very powerful creature to smash her way to victory. So, in order to do that, we will, of course, going to be focusing on that game plan of either trying to pump her up as much as possible so we can do that damage, or we will have a bunch of extra support pieces that can help us proliferate, maybe add some more counters to other creatures, or just whatever we need to just outvalue our opponent. So, let's go ahead, let's begin with the 1-drops in this slot, and we'll go through every single card as fast as possible here. In the 1-drop slot here, we'll have Wizard's Class here. This allows us to make sure we have no maximum hand size because Sab-Sunen is going to get us an insane amount of cards once she starts going off. By going up to level 2, you get to draw 2 cards. Level 3, every time we draw a card, you put a +1/+1 counter on a creature we control. So this, of course, will make an insane amount of power pump for our commander. Slip out the back here is going to be for protection, +1/+1 counter for staying on theme, of course, and also helps our creature phase out so we can avoid even exile effects. Splash Portal here can allow us to then exile a creature, then bring it back to the battlefield. If we control a bird, frog, otter, or rat, we get to draw a card for that. Stubborn Denial, because Sab-Sunen, of course, is already a 6/6 by default, so this is an incredibly powerful little 1-mana counterspell for us to help us protect our game plan. Bushwhack here, because again, Sab-Sunen is just so good on her own here, so pretty much all we just want to do is support her. So we can either use this to get out of basic land, or we can utilize her to just fight whatever, just provide some spot removal. Things get more interesting and more fun here with District Mascot. Oh my gosh, look at that cute little corgi here. Ah, so cute. Oh my goodness, I love it so much though. I actually really like dogs, by the way. Any case, sorry, don't mean to get off track there. 1 mana, 0/0. It's a dog mount, however, so it enters with a +1/+1 counter on it. And also for 2, you can then also do that. Remove 2 counters from it to destroy a target artifact. Whenever this creature attacks while saddled, however, you get a +1/+1 counter on it, so you have to saddle it for 1. So this is actually nice for us. It can become a bigger threat as the game progresses. Gift of the Viper here can give one of our creatures here a +1/+1 counter, a reach counter, and a death touch counter on target creature, and then we untap the card. This is incredibly powerful and basically can make Sab-Sunen, if we actually throw on Gift of the Viper, unstoppable. So just keep that in mind if we actually want to do that. Hardened Scales here is going to be one of our ways to kind of start doubling up all of our counters. Be very careful as to when you play this, however. And the reason why I'm going to emphasize this is, remember that the card says if 1 or more +1/+1 counters will be put on a creature, that many plus an extra will be added on. So if you're only doing 1 +1/+1 counter at a time, you technically will get 2, which sounds great, but that might lock in Sab-Sunen onto only one mode. So say like if you have only an odd amount, you're going to be locked into just getting a ton of card draw, which sounds great on paper, but there might be moments where you actually want to swing with her. On the other hand, maybe you have an even amount, so that allows you to, of course, start dealing a ton of damage, but you probably might be fizzling if you don't have enough card draw. So be mindful as to when you actually play Hardened Scales, just as an FYI. Snakeskin Veil here just allows us to put another +1/+1 counter, gives one of our creatures hexproof until end of turn, so great protection spell. Sun Shower Druid here, although technically Sab-Sunen, while it does have a frog mask, as you can see, and of course it is a god, it actually is not a frog. However, because I wanted to, and I also want to have some fun with the flavor, I just threw in a bunch of cards that are frogs. Also because if you haven't noticed, frogs technically do mess with +1/+1 counters, so it actually kind of goes on flavor with it. So I thought that was a cute little inclusion, just as an FYI. Any case, going back to it, Sun Shower Druid here, 1 mana, 0/2. It enters, +1/+1 counter on a creature. We gain some life, so nice, cute little card in the early game. Thirsting Roots here, same thing. It allows us to dig out a basic land. Also, it has Proliferate, so you'll notice that some of our cards in the deck will have Proliferate to make sure we can keep putting +1/+1 counters as the game progresses. Valley Mightcaller here, a frog warrior. Anytime another frog, rabbit, raccoon, or squirrel enters, you get a +1/+1 counter on this creature, so it'll start pumping itself up to make it a bigger threat. Vassalwood Fortification here, one of our tap lands in a pinch, but also, again, +1/+1 counter, part of the strategy. Basilisk Collar here, we only had this in the deck because I wanted to provide a way where we can make sure we stabilize with a bunch of lifelink and death touch on one of our creatures. Added to Sab-Sunen, and again, it becomes basically unstoppable with this. Contentious Plan here, so just draws a card and proliferates, so again, just works with the game plan. Experimental Augury, dig 3 cards deep, get 1 card out, and also same with Proliferate. Frogify here, honestly, we only threw it in there because it is kind of, I guess, pseudo on flavor, but realistically, this is actually a pretty good removal piece for our opponent because, again, throw this onto an opponent's creature, they will lose all abilities and become a blue frog and only have a base power and toughness of 1/1. So you could possibly just get out of the way one of their cards, or at least maybe their commander, until it leaves the battlefield. Prologue to Phyresis here allows us to get a poison counter on our opponent and draw a card. So we don't technically focus too much on the game plan of throwing poison counters, but if we can at least get 1 on here and start proliferating, that could in theory come up with another way of getting to victory if we kind of stall out for whatever reason. So keep that in mind. We will kind of mess with that just a little bit in this deck. Serum Snare here allows us to bounce away something, and then we can proliferate again as long as it's a mana value of 3 or less. Teferi Time Twist, another one of our exile effects here, and of course it allows us to put a +1/+1 counter if the creature enters back into the battlefield. Thrumming Bird here, once we deal some combat damage, we can allow ourselves to proliferate to do some more counters. Canker Bloom here, this fungus allows us to sacrifice itself so we can either proliferate or it can be artifact and enchantment hate. Infectious Bite here, same thing as I just mentioned earlier. We could put it could put a poison counter on our opponent, and hopefully we can use this as spot removal against whatever our opponent throws at us. Ozolith the Shattered Spire, similar to the Hardened Scales. Again, it'll start adding +1/+1 counters onto our creatures. However, if we don't need it, we can also just cycle it away if we need to in a pinch, or you can put a +1/+1 counter on an artifact or creature on its own. Excuse me. Pollen Bright Druid here. It enters, put a +1/+1 counter on something, or you can proliferate. Rampant Growth here for, again, ramp. Scavenging Ooze is going to be great for us for Graveyard Hate, and also a +1/+1 counters on itself and helps us gain some life if it was a creature that was eaten. Unnatural Restoration can bring one of our permanents back to our hand, and same thing, it proliferates. Pawn Prophet here just enters and helps us draw a card. Excuse me for 1 second here. Excuse me. Ugh. Feeling a little queasy there. Any case, Simic Ascendancy is actually another one of our plan Bs, our real plan B to the deck. So with Simic Ascendancy, whenever we put +1/+1 counters on a creature we control, you get to put growth counters on this enchantment. And if we get 20 or more growth counters, we can win the game with this card. And we will have definitely no problem putting a bunch of +1/+1 counters with our game plan that we have today. Simic Charm here, again, it's kind of more on flavor because, again, it's just, we are Simic colors, but also does provide us a little bit of extra protection because permanents we control can either gain hexproof, we can bounce something back, or give one of our creatures a +3/+3 pump. Sky Serpent Seeker here, a snake that has 1/1, it has flying, it has death touch. You can exhaust it if you need to, then dig out 2 more lands to throw them onto the battlefield for ramping purposes, and again, +1/+1 counter on the creature. Arcane Signet, it's here again, it's a staple for this. Same thing with Swiftfoot Boots, providing us a little bit of extra protection by giving one of our creatures hexproof and haste. Dreamtide Whale here is actually a really cool little card here. It's a 7/5 for 3 mana, which is actually a really good rate, but it has Vanishing too. So that means when the time counters are gone on it, it will have to be sacrificed. However, if we can keep casting 2 spells a turn, it will proliferate, which means it will buy itself more time to stay on the battlefield, and also goes great with our game plan. Flux Channel here also allows us to then proliferate as long as we're casting non-creature spells. Guildpack Informant, similar to the Thrumming Bird, deals combat damage, and then we can proliferate. Long River Lurker here actually is a really good frog for us. It has Ward 1 and gives all of our other frogs Ward 1 as well. While we don't go all in on the frog game plan here, it still provides us a little protection. However, what we want is, when it enters, a creature we control cannot be blocked. So this can be a great way to kind of force our opponent to just eat a whole heavy hit for maybe our commander itself. Once we deal the combat damage, we can exile the card if we need to, and then bring it back to the battlefield. So in some ways, this could help us get a free swing in, but also can maybe reset one of our ETB triggers for any one of our creatures. Salinity Vision here enters as either a tapped land, or also we can dig 6 cards deep to get an instant or sorcery out. Narset Parter Veils, we honestly don't want our opponent to get too much card draw, so this can of course lock them out. If we can start proliferating with this out, man, that's going to be so hard for our opponent to deal with, because we can start putting more loyalty counters on our Planeswalker. Reject Imperfection here is not the best counter spell, but it provides us what we need, so it can help us proliferate if we need to while we counter a spell. Sink into Stupor here, for tempo reasons, we can use this to bounce something back, or we can utilize it, of course, as a land. Same with Ball Again Recovery, it can either be a land in a pinch, or we can use it to bring back any card from our graveyard back to our hand. Branching Evolution here in the 3-drop slot allows us to put, again, +1/+1 counters on our creatures, just like Ozolith, and of course Hardened Scales. Carnivorous Canopy here, none of one of our artifact and enchantment hate cards, we can also destroy a creature with flying, and of course if the permanent's mana value was 3 or less, same thing, we just proliferate. Clifftop Lookout here is one of our frog scouts. It enters, it can also dig us out a land. It also has reach. Not a big thing, but of course we threw it in here because I feel it works with the game plan. Cultivate, great for our deck. Of course, we want to make sure we dig out our lands, not we can get our land drops. Evolution Sage, speaking of land drops here, it has landfall, and every time we do hit a land when this is out, we can proliferate. Fight Rigging here is going to be a 3 mana. It has Hideaway 5, so we can then put a card underneath it and exiled, and then we can start putting +1/+1 counters on any one of our creatures. If we control a creature with power 7 or greater, then we can basically play the card for free, which is great for us because this actually works perfectly well with Sab-Sunen because it's already a 6/6 once it already enters, so keep that in mind. Sticking Tongue Sentinel here, 3 mana Frog Warrior here. When it enters, we can then bounce something back to its owner's hand, which is great for us, and has reach, so it's nice for us for flyers. Tireless Provisioner here, it has landfall, great for our deck because we can use this as pseudo ramp, 5 food tokens and treasure tokens. Quandrix Command here allows us to pick 2 things where we can either use it to counterspell, put some counters on stuff, shuffle away a couple of cards into a graveyard to kind of deny our opponent's stuff, or then we can bounce away a creature or planeswalker back to an opponent's hand. Tainted Observer here, it has flying, it has toxic, and every time a creature we control enters, pay 2, and we can also proliferate, so it works with the game plan here, but the toxic ability can help put poison counters on our opponent's stuff. Incubation/Incongruity here, dig 5 cards deep to either get a creature card out, or for 3 mana you can then exile a creature and then turn it into a green frog. So kind of works, if you will, with our game plan. I guess it's kind of like pseudo flavor, but I actually think this card is great for our deck. Splash Lasher here, when this enters, we can then put down one of our creatures by tapping it and stunning it, and also it has the Offspring mechanic, so you technically can make another copy of it if you want to. If we could put a stun counter on something and start proliferating, we basically can lock out that creature for the game. Bloom Hulk here, super cheap, it enters, it helps us proliferate. Expand the Sphere here, dig 6 cards deep, put 2 land cards from among them onto the battlefield and the rest onto the library in a random order. However, if we only put 1 land out, the other part allows us to then do some proliferation. Dream Dew Entrancer here, it has reach. When it enters, you can put up to 1 on one counter. I'm sorry. Up to one target creature can put 3 stun counters on it, and if that was our creature, however, we can draw 2 cards. We have a couple of ways where we can kind of, as you just saw, blink things back and forth, so we can get rid of those counters if it's our creature, but if it's our opponent's creature, we can then basically lock them out as we start proliferating more counters onto it. Lily Smash Mentor here, 4 mana, Frog Druid, it has also reach, and of course for 3 mana, you can then just basically blink something away and give it some counters, which is great for us. In the 5 drop slot here, Frog Bird here, Flying Sky Skipper Duo. When this creature enters, we again some just blink, just more entering and more ETB trigger nonsense. And then finally, Disciple of Freyalise here in the 6 drop slot here, this Elf Druid. We could sacrifice what we need to then draw a bunch of cards, gain a ton of life back. If we absolutely have to in a pinch, you could get rid of Sab-Sunen, which allows you to basically refuel your whole hand with basically about 6 cards minimum. But if you at least get 1 counter, which usually it always does once it comes in, you kind of get a whole brand new hand by just sacrificing your commander. Something to keep in mind if you really need something in a pinch. And then finally, to wrap it up, here's going to be our land base. So again, we are a budget deck, but I will show you, of course, the upgraded version later in the stream. So 9 islands, 13 forests, Lilypad Village, Oak Hollow Village, and a bunch of the dual tap lands. So Lakeside Shack, Lush Oasis, Quadrix Campus, Tangled Islet, Tangled Pool Bridge, Thornwood Falls, an Arage Archway to bounce something back, and also we can give us a bit more ramp. Broker's Hideout for a fetch land, Command Tower is a staple, Demolition Field for land hate, Escape Tunnel again for more ramp, Karn's Bastion to help us with the proliferate game plan, and finally Nesting Grounds if we want to move around any one of our counters to maybe kind of even things out with maybe Sab-Sunen. So that's going to be the whole game plan for you, everybody. Woo! As always, appreciate y'all sticking in there for me because, man, I'm already out of breath trying to all do that. But in any case, you get the idea here, everybody. Is this deck going to be fun? We'll be able to then overwhelm our opponent with our Frog God Mommy? Well, there's only one way to find out. So without further ado, let's go ahead, let's play a bunch of Brawl matches, and let's see how well the deck can do. Whew, okay, so, actually, we'll play the upgraded version in a little bit. Let's just jump into it here, everybody. Okay, cool. Okay, so now that you all got that, let me know what you think about the whole game plan. Is this going to be a good one? Are we going to be super awesome today? Are we going to be amazing? Or are we going to fizzle again? Well, there's only one way. So let's see. Since we get to our first match. Who gave her Thunder Thighs? That's a good question. But yeah, Mommy here, she thick. She is super thick. Not gonna lie. We can't we can't ignore that. But then, while we were playing the game, just let me know in the comments, everybody. What do you think so far about Tarkir Dragonstorm? I know we will talk about this. Oh, okay. Yay, free win, I guess. Okay. Well, maybe our opponent didn't like us talking about our commander. Any case. Okay, for reals. Let's try this again. Get your dailies done, by the way, everybody. Always make sure to get them done. We'll try this again. So while I'm loading up the next match, that hopefully will be actually a real match, what are your thoughts right now on Tarkir Dragonstorm? It's day 1, but man, there were some nutty cards I saw from the first day here. I mean, the one card I want to talk about again, and I'll probably make a short about this maybe later in the week. Let's talk about Ugin. Ugin is broken. No, I'm serious. I think, honestly, the new Ugin from this set is probably better than the old one. Old Ugin focused mostly on spot removal and being a giant, powerful Wrath. The new Ugin that we saw today is focused on ramping and massive card draw. So again, stabilizing by gaining life and drawing a card, and that makes the card even harder to get rid of. Man, I don't even know what to say to that. It's just, I can't believe that card actually was printed. Oh my goodness. But you know, of course, we have to put together a deck with new Ugin. So expect that coming in the future. I'm actually trying to come up with an idea of how we can do it. I don't know if I want to do it as a Brawl deck, or maybe we can do it as a colorless deck for a higher powered format. Let me know your thoughts on that. I will definitely put it into a poll coming up soon. Dense Planets. Trailer looked very nice. Yeah, Planeswalker's hella great. Yeah, I definitely agree. It's actually both Planeswalker. Wait, what's going on? Okay. Don't worry, everybody. We will try to get to a match. We will get into a match today. Worst case scenario, if say like I can't get into a match, we can of course just spend the next hour and some is just talking about the cards. But hopefully, okay. Let's try this again. I would like to play today. Okay, for reals. Both Planeswalkers, yeah, amazing. They both look great. Control like Boros or Orzhov. Oh, okay. I can tell you right now, I'm looking at one of two directions. It's either going to be mono white tokens and using Elspeth as kind of like your finisher, with maybe one of the powerful dragons is kind of like a finisher. But again, we're going to need more cards from the set to kind of help me evaluate where I want to go with that. But we'll see. We will definitely see. All right, opponents. Opponent's already getting into the Dragon Spirits. Dragon Spirits. Ah, see what I said there? Ah? You knew what I was trying to go with there. Okay, so our opponent is going to try to ramp out their dragon ASAP. So, we will definitely try to find a way around that quick. Canker Bloom. Just at least get a threat out. Alright. Dragon Speaker Shaman. Alright. Our opponent is definitely going to try to start ramping ASAP. Let's see. How do we do this here? Let's see. Flux Channeler. So we got all of our proliferate creatures ready to go. We just need to start getting counters on Sab-Sunen once she comes out, and we should be good there. Alright, opponents. Alright. Here comes the dragon. And we're definitely going to be playing with a dragon deck once we get to that point. So don't worry, that is coming. Okay, hold on. Alright, let's, we need to ramp 2. So we can't get, unfortunately, any counters just yet. But that's okay. Taking 6 cards deep. 2 lands. Okay, so we got a Thornwood Falls in the Forest. Not the most glamorous, but it works. Oh, my Tuan Min. Welcome, my fire friend. Thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully, again, you're having a wonderful day where you're at. Not just token control, Elspeth can easily get into any grindy deck that plays white. You are right on that one. But we shall see. I kind of want to see if we get more support, because I did see already that we will be getting a lot of token support with this set. There are already a couple of cards that are in lower powered levels that are looking exciting. All right. We came here for Mommy here. Our Frog God Mommy is now on board. So, can we do it? Is this going to be enough for us? Our opponent already has a lot of power on board. All we just need to do is just find a way to provide a little... If we could just hopefully... Oh, jeez. Not this card again. Ugh. Chimil. Honestly, I'm not a fan of this card. But of course, I have to acknowledge that people are going to play it. And it's incredibly powerful. But the good news, of course, is Sab-Sunen does stop our opponent for a bit. Because... Oh, you're swinging? Opponents? Okay. Alright, I can block. So, at least we can sponge a hit here. So that's fine. So, dragon goes bye-bye. Although we will lose a heavy hit here, which kind of stinks. Ouch. Ouch. Okay. We have to find a way to get around that. Okay. Or are we dead here? Okay, so they get an Arcane Signet for free. Okay. Okay. So. Draw 2. Can we some way, somehow get out of this? Ward 2. Ugh. Okay, let me see. Let me see for a second here. Let's see. Can we do this? Is there a way out of this? Sticky Tongue Sentinel. Alright, enters. We can stun down that token. Wait, hold on. Oh, hold on one second. Maybe we could just bounce it away completely. Okay, so... we will bounce back... Actually, hold on. We won't bounce anything back. We need this actually for protection. Let us... How do we do this here? Is there a way out of this? Oh, maybe I probably did this wrong. Stun counter. Yeah, I think I probably messed this up a little bit here. Any case, okay, so we stun counter and lock that out. We can splash portal away. Connected on other platforms, but I don't know what's going on there. Okay. Oh, we lose. Dang. Alright. Well, we tried. So... lagging like crazy? I don't know what's causing the lag, so I do apologize on that. Let me see if I can try to stabilize it for a second here. So, give me one moment here. Okay, so... And, yep, lagging like crazy. Am I offline on other platforms? Let me check something real quick. I'm going to have to kind of do a little bit of a test run here. Don't worry, I'll be right back. Okay. All right, I'm back, everybody. Huh. I'm not sure what was causing it. Yeah, I'm not sure what was causing it. But, okay. I mean, right now, I think I'm the only one in the house that's actually... in my house that I'm actually using internet. Just feels awkward if I'm like, okay, everyone needs to shut off the internet while I do my stream. So I apologize for that. Hopefully, again, we won't have any more issues. Because I would like to, of course, keep this going. But it looks like I'm still going across other platforms. So, hey, go figure. Let me know if we're having any more issues, everybody. Oh, but yeah, it looked like, I think we're stable now. So let's go ahead. Let's see if we can just try to keep playing. If we do end up having a major issue where I cannot go on, I'll try to let you all know across socials. But right now, hopefully, we should be okay. Just move from YouTube to here. Okay, that's fine. I mean, we got to do what you got to do. But if anything else, somewhere, at least across any one of the socials that I am streaming, there should definitely be a full copy of this whole stream. So if we have some small disconnect across other platforms, but hopefully we'll still have a place that will have the full version. So no matter what, even if I disconnect, follow through, if you kind of get what I'm saying. Any case, okay, so it looks like we should be okay right now. Let's go ahead, let's just play our next match here. So we got Pawn Profits and draw some cards. All right. Okay, so our opponent is Ortheon. I haven't seen anybody play this card, so I don't know what we're into right here, but we'll find out somewhere, some way, somehow. Oh. Are we having more technical issues? Ugh. I don't know why it's causing that, everybody. Sorry. Okay. But it's interesting that... oh, wow. I'm looking at the... on Twitch, and it's having an issue. I don't know why, but other platforms don't have this issue. I don't know what's going on. We'll kind of have to keep an eye on it, if we can. Let's see. Evolution Sage. Down to 24 opponents. Our opponent's playing a lot of artifacts. So I guess I'm going to try to make a ton of tokens with Ortheon here. Oh, the stream was shut off completely for you? Ugh. Okay. Well, okay. But it looks like I'm still somewhat active here. Okay. Alright, so... sorry, everybody. It's just going to be that kind of a day. I mean, I don't know sometimes what causes the stream to have issues. Maybe I just need better internet. That's probably what I'm going to have to do at some point. I'll have to make a couple calls down the line in the future. In any case, well, until that comes, how do we do this here? Let us play. Put the forest down. Can't really proliferate anything just yet. Lily Splash Mentor. We swing. Obviously, they'll block the Pawn Prophet. Dense Planet was optimizing a Nashi deck for Brawl. Got like 4 Curiosity-type auras attached to it. Ooh, neat. I haven't actually played Nashi, so I don't know how well... Like, I'm not in tune with that card as much as I feel like I'd like to be. Oh, okay. Here's what we're going to do there. We're going to turn this... We're going to turn their commander into a frog. It's going to be hilarious here, and there'll be nothing they can do about it. The stream... Well, again, we're just going to have to monitor things. I guess it's just going to be one of those days for us. Okay. Opponent. Discarding cards. Alright. Tunnel Grinder gets a counter on it. Okay, so here's how we're going to try to do this. Off Frogify. Sorry, opponent. You don't have any more commander. You just have a frog. I love this, by the way. Okay, so Forest. Now, so for the time being, unless if they have a way of getting rid of this, their commander isn't going to much of anything. So this does buy us plenty of time, hopefully, and then just kind of maybe do our thing here. Okay. Ooh. Now we'll take the 5 damage. I need my creatures to stay alive. So, what we're going to try to just start doing is maybe with Pawn Prophet here and Lily Splash Mentor, we should be able to then just start hopefully getting stuff off here. But we're going to want, of course, a couple of actual cards out here. Let's get Sab-Sunen. Here comes Mommy, everybody. She ready to do her thing. And the good news, of course, with Sab-Sunen out is she can block the dragons for days. So this should be no problem for us. Ooh, Worm Coral Engine might be a trouble for us. Oh, opponents? Oh, they want to swing. Getting a little frisky there, aren't we? No? Maybe? Oh, yeah. Opponents does not want to deal with Sab-Sunen anymore. Victory for us. Woo! Not the fanciest way to win, but I'll take it. They just could not deal with the fact that Sab-Sunen also, she has reach. People forget about that with that card. Love it. Stream is going into oblivion. Ugh. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what to say to that. We're going to try to keep pushing through no matter what, though, because I still want to try to get what I can out there. So, sorry, everybody. I do apologize, but at this point, I can't really... I don't know if I can even reset the stream at this point to try to clean things up. It might just be a little too far in at this point. I'm playtesting now the new starter decks. Okay, let me know how that goes for you, Min. Hopefully, again, they end up being a little bit of more fun than I'm expecting. Never mind, it's doing fine now. Feels much better than the previous one. Okay, well, that's good to know. Okay, so, next match here. Same thing. We're just trying to get in as many matches as possible to show off how well our frog god mommy can do. Sab-Sunen is actually it actually does do its thing. Very hard to get rid of and very hard to deal with. All right, so let's see what we got here. So we got dual lands, Dreamtide Whale. Let's see how we can do. All right, opponents. Playing Old Rustine, bring it on. Yeah. I guess you could say the new Ugin is so broken that it crashes in. Good lord. The stream right now is having stabilization issues. If we keep having stabilization issues where I cannot get through the rest of it, plan B, of course, is we're going to just stream and just talk about the card. But I honestly wanted to show off today's deck. So hopefully... minimum, I would like to at least get through half of the stream today, just at least playing the deck that way I built for today. But maybe, I don't know. I haven't actually done really a stream where I kind of just talked about the cards. Maybe we might do that at some point where we just sit and chat. But we'll see. We will see where things go. All right. We'll hold on to the Bushwhack for now. We have plenty of lands, so that's not a problem. We'll pass. Ooh. Okay. I think we're stable. Okay. I think we're stable again. Sorry about that, everybody. Come on. Come on, Internet. Just hang in there at least for the next hour and some. That's all I ask. That's all I'm asking. Let's see. Branching evolution. And bushwhack. Oh, actually, hold on. We could... Actually... Okay, proliferate. We take out the token. Swing at Renin 7. Opponent, you block, you lose Old Rustine. Do block. Do block. Wow. Okay. Well, that's fine for us. That forces the... Oh. Okay, well, they probably have a way of bringing him Old Rustine. They let their commander go into the graveyard. They let their commander go into the graveyard. Okay. I mean, that's an interesting choice. That's worth it. Either way, Sab-Sunen should have no archway. All right, so here we go. Come forth, our god mommy. Maybe she, or maybe Sab-Sunen likes, I don't know the lore, but I assume maybe she's just a fan of frogs? I don't know how this works. Someone let me know how the lore works with this, because I didn't bother reading anything with Ether Drift. With branching evolution now, this will definitely be a big, thick mommy here. She coming. Here she comes. Watch. Opponents? Unless if they have any kind of... Oh, okay. Oh, Shieldred being tossed out. Should I be scared? 6 lands. Okay, so... Okay. Our opponent here might have an option to stop us. They might. Oh, Den Splendid, now you're on YouTube there. Isn't a day just... Oh. Oh, jeez. All right. We'll see. We'll try to see if we can get through this. We'll try. Draw a card. Okay, so the good news here is incongruity can help us. So Shieldred is exiled. So at least we got rid of her. Because there's no way we were going to deal with that. YouTube is okay? I have no idea what platform... As long as any one of the platforms I'm multi-streaming to is stable enough, I think we should be okay. Oh, Village right. Oh, come on. Wow, really? Jeez. Alright. Okay, so... Can we do this? Bounce back a forest. Alright. I guess we'll pass there. Well, the good news, though, of course, is unless our opponent has more stuff to bring back, I think we should be okay for a little bit longer until Shieldred actually makes her return. But that token will be a problem for us if we don't deal with it. All we just need, again, is we just need Sab-Sunen to just stay on the battlefield just long enough where I can either draw cards or just start smashing our way through things. Oh, okay, there's a big delay compared to Twitch. Interesting. Okay. Alright, well, I guess y'all have to kind of keep me posted to see what's going on. So, thanks at least for keeping an eye on things, everybody. But again, we'll see if we can try to get these things fixed before the next stream. Any case, Sab-Sunen coming down. Alright. What do you got, opponents? The good news, of course, is with Sab-Sunen here, same thing, it's indestructible, so unless if our opponent has an exile effect, I think we should be... I want to think we are going to be stable here. Of course, this should be more stable right now than our internet connection. Ugh. Okay. But yeah, just let me know what's going on, everybody. Oh, opponent swinging. All right. I mean, they can if they want to. Block Embodiment of Agonies. Sab-Sunen, of course, sponges the hit. We can start putting counters on her. Dream Dew Enhancer. So, the idea here is... Let's see. Lock out Orc Lore Mage. You think the problem's coming from Switch? Never mind, YouTube crashed into ending. Ooh. Ugh. Really? Oh boy. Okay. Well, I'll have to look at that in a bit. Okay, draw a card. Land down. Pawn profits. I guess I'll have to check right now in just a second what's going on. Okay. No attacks. Alright. They fight one of our creatures. Okay. Alright. I guess that means this is game for us, which is unfortunate. Dang. We took out their stuff, but just couldn't get there. Alright. That's fine. Okay. So... So we got at least one of our rewards, which is nice. Dang, we're still not quite getting a real good win with this deck, but we'll keep trying. Maybe we'll do one more in regular, and we'll try to jump to the non-budget one in just a little bit. Yeah, I don't know what platform is having the issue. I'm just also verifying right now to make sure any platform that I'm on is still running a copy of this stream. As long as we have a copy running, we'll be okay. Okay, so it looks like I'm still live on X. It looks like everything's fine there. We will... Okay. Sorry. I'm also trying to verify everything as I'm also streaming still. Okay, Forest. And it looks like YouTube... Okay, YouTube looks like I'm still live. I think I am. I think it's... Okay, it looks like I'm fine there. Play another forest. Bushwhack. Let's dig out a island, because we need that. Okay, here we go. Alright. Our opponent is playing Kalia, so we'll see how well this goes. Alright, here she comes. Okay. So... That's already going to be a problem for us. Put a poison counter on our opponent. Okay. We don't have any true removal just yet. It's going to be a while. So I don't know if that means Kalia here is going to just steamroll us, but I guess we'll find out right now. Magnifying glass. Alright, opponents. What else you got? Okay, but it looks like otherwise I think I'm okay across the other platforms. 22. Okay, so let's see. Expand the sphere. Island and a forest. So now we have all the ramp we need to just get our stuff off. So we can just get Sab-Sunen out. We should be okay. I guess you could say New Ogun is so broken that it crashes the stream. That's the only validation. Yeah, we're going to go with that. We're totally going to go with that. Opponents? Okay. First dragon online. Ugh. Okay. So, how we do this here is as so. Nesting grounds. And pass. Oh, Min, I see you've now migrated over to Instagram? Okay, well... If that works for you, that works for you. But again, I do apologize. But still, thank you for being so dedicated to trying to at least keep watching the stream. So thanks for that. Oh, our opponents? Okay. Well, I guess they want to keep swinging. They can if they want to. Alright, so we will take out Lyra. Opponents? Oh, okay. They can do that if they want to. They gain a ton of life. Oh boy. Okay, we draw 2 cards. Let's see. How do we get out of this? Basilisk Collar. Equip it to Sab-Sunen. Tireless Provisioner. Forest. Make a treasure token. We play Tainted Observer. And pass. So the only awkward part right now is we cannot block with Sab-Sunen. Oh boy. This is where, again, it gets tricky to play this card because you got to remember where, like, how many counters you have at that given moment. Maybe I should have just kept things open for a bit until... Well, I don't think this is actually going to work out here now I realize it. Kali is just so annoyingly powerful. You can just throw in a ton of just powerful cards and she just throws everything out for free. Yeah, alright. We'll just consider that a wash. Dang. Alright. Well, also because my concentration right now is split between this and trying to make sure the stream stays stable, I feel like we're not firing on all cylinders today. Okay. But okay. Let us try one more at least on the budget version, and then we'll jump to the non-budget version. So we'll try that. Free stuff is good. Yes, it is. Although sometimes they can be a little annoying. I'm not usually a person that likes to play things for free deliberately. I'm usually a person that likes to play things with, I feel like I want to feel like I've earned what I've played, if you will. But I'm not going to lie. Of course, I played many decks before where we cheat stuff out, so I can't be completely hypocritical to that kind of idea. And of course, we are going to try to come up with something devious once Tarkir Dragonstorm does drop. So something to keep in mind. All right. So, opponents, bring it on.
It's time to do.
Okay. So with that, we will play... How do we do this here? Let's get out the island. And we'll put out Wizard class. I guess that'll work for now. We have plenty of ramp, which is good for us. We just need to figure out what works better for us here. Okay. So, we'll put out a Forest. Basilisk Collar. Alright, opponents. Okay, Nadu. Ugh. Disgusting card, by the way. Okay, Command Tower. And Cultivate. So they're playing Lagrella the Magpie. I haven't seen anybody play this card, so I'm not sure how well it's going to work. But we'll see if that's a problem for us. Island out first. So, next turn. Sab-Sunen can come out. We can hopefully start doing our thing here. Okay. Bouncing away Nadu. Memory Lapse will be annoying, but we can get around that. Hopefully. Yeah. Nadu. You know, even though they modified it with the alchemy buffs and everything, it's not enough. Honestly, the card should have just been banned straight out. It's just not a fun card to deal with here. I'm going to try to see if I can play around it, but I don't have any hope, honestly. Oh, Elish Norn? Ugh. That might be a small problem for us, but we don't really rely too much on enter the battlefield triggers for our deck per se. So, Forest. Sab-Sunen coming out. Okay. So at least for a turn, we can stop our opponent for a little bit. Lagrella the Magpie coming down. Alright. So that does mean that... Jeez. All right. Boo. Okay. Okay. I guess we have to bounce it back to us. Okay, well, we'll see. Opponent is going to now get a ton of value here. Okay. All right, I'm not dealing with this. I'm sorry. I usually don't like to quit that quickly, but between Nadu and Elish Norn, that's just I can't deal with that value. It's just honestly too much for me. So I'll take the L on that one. Okay, you know what? I think we're just going to jump now to the non-budget version. I don't think that the budget version's bad, but our matchups today were just very poorly set up. And also, I wasn't concentrating too hard because we've been having connection issues. But hopefully, again, it should be stable for the remainder. In any case, let's talk about right now what we really want to see, which is going to be the real deck. The real powerful one, if you actually want to go all out with this. So, this version is going to be a little bit less gimmicky, and we're going to be a little bit more focused here. So, some of the changes that we're going to be adding to the deck, I mean, most of those stuff we'll still keep in, like Valley Might Caller here and stuff like that, but we're going to add in a little bit more to the poison mechanics. So we're going to throw in Venerated Rot Priest here. This might be a little bit more powerful for us to start putting more poison counters on our opponent's stuff. We're going to throw in, of course, more dirtier cards like Cyclonic Rift. In terms of getting a little bit more power for us, we're going to throw in, of course, Counterspell, Mana Drain. Oh yeah, we're not holding back this time. Fanatic of Ronos, an incredibly powerful ramp option for us. Innkeeper's Talent also will come in. In terms of other cards that will help us just kind of do our thing here, just trying to double check to see if I missed anything here on that side. Amphibian Downpour here, although it kind of goes well with the theme, it's actually a very powerful card if you could storm it off for a bit, because then you can make a lot of creatures lose their abilities and become blue frogs. So kind of nice on the flavor purpose there. In terms of other cards that'll give us a little bit more of a boost, Archmage's Charm here, so we can actually steal something. We can also counterspell or just draw some cards if we need to, depending on what our opponent throws at us. Ornery Tumblewag here, another kind of +1/+1 counter shenanigans. I love actually what this card does, so I thought it would be great for the deck for counter stuff. Archer's Charm here, again, another charm that does a lot for us for value reasons. Tribute to the World Tree can put a bunch of counters on other of our creatures, or otherwise help us draw a bunch of cards as well. Hadama's Climb here can start putting some counters onto our creatures. We can flip it over into a land, and then making one of our creatures fly, which gives it a ton of value overall, of course, the game. Vivian Arcbow Ranger, another Planeswalker for us. Same thing, provides more counters, and also can be spot removal in a pinch. And of course, we have to throw in some incredibly busted counter shenanigans here with Primal Vigor, Doubling Season, Primeval Bounty, of course, for landfall stuff, and finally the Great Henge, because this card is just absolutely good and bonkers anytime we play green. So stuff like that. And of course, upgrading the mana base is going to be an essential for us if we're going to go all out with that budget. So all the untapped duels that we can afford are now in the deck instead. So the Pathway Land, Botanical Sanctum, Breeding Pool, Dreamroot Cascade, Hedge Maze, and of course, we'll keep a couple of the other ones still. So we'll still keep cards like Lush Oasis, Tangleroot Ridge, Waterlog Grove here, Willow Rush Verge, Yamivaya Coast. And then some of the more powerful utility lands will have a Fabled Passage for better fetching. We'll have Mana Confluence for better fixing. Misty Rainforest here, a Prismatic Vista, Scavenger Grounds for Graveyard Hate. And otherwise, we'll keep everything else as is. So this version hopefully will be a much more powerful threat against our opponent here. So now, Mommy just got a bunch of upgrades. So let's go ahead, let's try now the more powerful version, and we'll see how well the upgraded one does. But as a friendly reminder, as we hit now the halfway point of the stream, if you like either deck, the budget version or the non-budget version we're about to play, as always, I will leave links for those in the details below once the stream is over. And of course, if you do like any of the content we do, everybody, the budget stuff that we do, please like, follow, and subscribe wherever you are watching me across X, Kick, Instagram, YouTube, of course Twitch when it's actually working, but any of those platforms you follow me on, subscribe to, I greatly appreciate your support, everybody. Your support will help keep the channel going as long as I can do this. So thank you for that. Any case, enough of me shilling for now. Let's go ahead, let's actually jump into the game. So we've got a Mana Confluence, Command Tower, and a Demolition Field. Okay, this should be good, right? We have everything fixed to what we need. Our opponent is playing Lysea. I'm not a fan of this card.
but it is powerful, so we have to acknowledge that that's going to be a thing. All right, Salinity Isle, tapped. Either way, opponents, bring it on.
It's time to duel.
All right, nothing. Okay. Okay, Prismatic Vista is nice. Command Tower. We'll play Valley Might Caller. All right. Opponents, Plains. Phyrexian Arena. Okay. They're going to start drawing a bunch of cards, but we do have a counterspell, which is great. We will play Mana Confluence. And let's see, we will need to keep some mana open just to keep that Lysaea off balance. Okay, draw a card. They'll lose life. So opponent's got their card draw engine online. We will get ours online soon, though. Fountain Port. Okay. That's okay. Okay, opponents. Will they sacrifice it, though? Man, there's really strong Simic Frog deck in Standard right now. Really now? We played a Simic Frog deck in Explorer a little, several months ago when Bloomborough came out. Actually had a lot of fun with the deck, but if there actually is an actual regular Frog deck in Standard, that's actually kind of cool to see. I really wish we get a chance to kind of go back to Bloomborough at some point. I really like the plane. I love the feel of the whole setup itself, so hopefully we'll go back soon. Because I think that's a plane that we really should have stuck to at least a little bit longer, in my opinion. In any case, Ozolith. We swing here. Okay, free hit. 23. Okay, opponent drawing the cards. Down to 22. I've seen also some people are now migrating the bounce deck that we had on stream a while ago and have refined it. So I feel like, what is it? Dimir Bounce is now a thing in Explorer? Sorry, opponents. Denied. You are counterspell. So that should be enough time for us to get Sab-Sunen out. Okay, opponent swings. Down to 21. Demolition Field. Okay, Sab-Sunen coming in. We get a swing. Down to 21. So, with Ozolith out, that means we won't be able to draw cards for a while, but this at least means that we can start swinging pretty hard with this card very quickly. Might Caller was the MVP of the deck. Okay, interesting. I should probably look at the list at some point. I'm actually kind of curious to see how once we get to Tarkir. But here's hoping. Whatever happens, we should get something. Okay. Opponents. Anything? Nope. Nothing? Alright. Cool. So we start adding counters to Sab-Sunen. We have a Snakeskin Veil to protect it, so that'll be nice. Lily Splash Mentor. Put some counters on the Might Caller. Alright. Alright, here we go. This is good. We be swinging with our two creatures, so we're doing 11 damage. Frog Vommy and a little frog here. Down to 9. Alright. This is actually what you want the deck to do, everybody. I love this. This is exactly what we came here for. Okay. Phyrexian Arena. Sure, opponent. Draw your cards. You're now down to 8. By the way. Deal with our frog god mommy, everybody. They've had enough. That is victory right there, everybody. Yeah. All right. Love it. Oh, and just, of course, at that point, we had that awkward little stream hiccup there. Okay. Well, we managed to get off at least one victory so far with the upgraded version, which is nice. I just wish the stream would kind of just stabilize. But thanks again, everybody, for still watching, even though I'm looking like very amateurish with my technical issues. In the meantime, let's go ahead, let's load up again. All right, opponent is playing Mondrak, so
Ooh, this might be a scary one.
but we'll see if we can try to find a way around this. Okay, so far we have... if Fanatic of Ronos survives, we have what we need to start pumping up our team. Okay, so we got a forest. That's good.
All right, opponents, bring it on. Bring on your token shenanigans.
Heir Apparent. Okay, so they're just going to try to go off with a ton of Heir Apparents, apparently.
Apparently.
Oak Hollow Village. Fanatic of Ronos. Okay, Vivian might help us out here. She might be a key piece to get us around this game plan our opponent's going to throw at us. So let's see. Opponent's got... okay, they got Ossification. Annoying. Alright. It's fine, I suppose. Demolition Field. Tireless Tracker. Okay, what else you got, opponents? Restoration of Ganjo. Okay. So they get out of free planes. And put it down. No swings again. Oh, they do. Okay. We don't have a choice there. We'll let it go. Clifftop Lookout. We make a treasure. I want to ramp right now, but I'm going to wait, because we need to make sure we can get out things. Treasure. Prismatic Vista. But right now this is working. Island. Another treasure token. We will play Vivian. There we go. All right. So,
love tearing this place to the ground.
take out their Heir Apparents.
We're gonna
No bunnies for you, opponents. Down to 22. All right. We're making progress. We're definitely getting there, slowly but surely. All right, Ganjo doing its thing. Do they get back their rabbits? Or are they going to try to get something else instead?
Okay.
Mondrak coming down. All right, so here's how we do this. Make another treasure. Put counters on top of... how do we do this here? Okay, put counters on both.
I'd get out of the way if I were you.
So, opponent, do you block? I don't think they're going to block. There we go, down to 18. Okay, so here's how we do this. If our opponent allows it, so full control here. Densblend. I imagine new Elspeth with Urbrass Forge, even for Explorer. Ooh, okay. That is something, actually. Okay, so it looks like they go after Vivian. Understandably so, but that's okay, actually. Because here's how we do this. If our opponent doesn't put out anything, we can bounce away the Serum Snare.
Oh, wow. Our opponent didn't want to fight the mommy? You didn't want to fight our
opponent. Aw, I was ready to like come up with a whole complicated game plan there, but okay. Yeah. Victory. They did not want to deal with the Frog God Mommy today, everybody. I'll take it. Win is a win. Okay. Maybe the upgraded version is probably the way to go with this deck. I mean, the regular version I'm sure is fine, but we're getting our wins in now. This is nice. I'm happy now about that. All right, let's keep it going. Let's keep our wins going, everybody.
Okay, so I'm feeling a little bit better about the deck now that we got the upgrades in, but not going to lie, once I put out the link, you're going to see the deck upgraded is very expensive, at least in paper. But at least in Arena, it's still going to be pricey with rares and mythics, but it still does the job, so I'm happy about that. Elspeth Knights tokens. You know what? Maybe we could just put together an Elspeth deck. I think we have enough Elspeths in Arena where maybe I could just do a whole Planeswalker deck with all Elspeths. I'll add that to the list of deck techs we're going to do in the future. I'll write that down somewhere, or maybe scribble it somewhere.
Elspeths. Oops, all Elspeths? I don't know. Something like that. I'll come up with a fun name for that. Don't worry. It's coming. But you definitely got me excited for that. I'm super jazzed. Any case. Okay, so for this one, we've got Misty Rainforest. All right. Got the Tribute to the World Tree. Okay. So we'll start here. Misty Rainforest. And then we'll start ramping ourselves out like crazy. But yeah, we're definitely getting quite a few cool ideas here that I'm looking forward to building once we get to the set. We're still, I know, several weeks out, so I'm going to have to, I don't know, maybe we'll come up with some other fun ideas for decks that I have yet to do in this, at least in this, these streams. I'm kind of fizzling a little bit on ideas, but I'm trying to come up with more fun stuff for all y'all to enjoy over the next couple weeks while we wait for the next set to come out. They crack the Misty Rainforest. And we will get out... It's tempting to get out the breeding pool, but you actually don't want that. Instead, we're going to get out the hedge maze. Survey a land. Ooh, Pawn Profit. You know what? We'll keep that cute little frog. That'll help us out. Let us then play... Willow Rush Verge. And then we will play Simic Ascendancy. So, with this, and then we can, once we get Tribute to the World Tree, we can start pumping up with Simic Ascendancy, and I think we should be able to go off from there. Dense Planet, nah. Imagine Elspeth and Ashiok. Knights, Soldiers, and Nightmares. Flavor Rivalry, you say? I mean, that's spicy. That's a possibility. Something to think about. Something to think about. Basilisk's Collar. Alright, so our opponent... Mind Stone. Alright. Opponent swinging. Do they pump? Okay, so they do pump. So that means Snare 'em Snare now. Bounce it away. Don't get the Proliferate trigger, but that's okay. All we just want to do right now is just plan out our stuff. Ping ourselves down to 21. But by bouncing back that Knight now, that does buy us a couple of turns to at least put out what we need. Knight of the Eben Legion. And they're playing Shieldred. Okay. Okay, they have to sacrifice... Okay. Trying to figure out now what's the best way to do this. Pawn Profit. One of our cute little froggy frogs. Draw a card off of it. Counters on Simic Ascendancy. We will... Forest. Evolution Sage. And this already has 3 power, so we just get a card off of that, which is nice. Okay. Well, we got our card draw engines online right now. We can just get Sab-Sunen out, and I think we should be okay. Shieldred. Ugh. Not surprised. Coming down now. Okay, so in that case, I guess Pawn Profit's got to go bye-bye. So sad. Bye, Froggy. Opponent swinging. Our opponent's probably going to pump, so we're just going to let that go. Okay, no surprise. Down to 15. Then split it. Now I need to actually hoard wild cards. I got barely anything. Ooh. Yeah. You're definitely going to want to save up quite a bit. I'm guessing you're going to try to get a full playset of the new Elspeth. Is that what I'm assuming? Let's see. Sab-Sunen. Draw a card. Forest. Add another Ascendancy token. No attacks yet. So, once we get Basilisk Collar on Sab-Sunen, we should be good to go for the remainder of this match. Because she should be strong enough to just... No, never mind. Jeez. So annoying. Down to 7. Ooh. 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 Okay. Okay. Primeval Bounty. Maybe this might be... Maybe this is what we need. So, okay. So with that... I guess Lush Oasis. Ping. Gain some life. So, that at least can help us stabilize for a little bit. Tiny Bones. Our opponent is slowly, however, running out of cards, so hopefully that should be enough to then buy us the time we need. Okay. Oh, never mind. They already have enough. All right, I miscounted again. Oops. Well, maybe next time, everybody. We tried. It's okay, though. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. We got some wins already with this deck, so it's not horrible. Commons and commons, mind you. Yeah, you're going to want to start stacking up. Question for you then, Dense Planet, since I guess I never asked you. So when it comes to stacking stuff, are you saving your gold, or are you using it to crack packs? Because at this point, now, usually the way I like to save up is, if I'm not going to obviously spend real money on stuff, which in my opinion you shouldn't, but I only spend money because I stream, so I need the cards ASAP. But for those of you that like to do completely free to play, my tip I usually give everyone is consider, once we start previewing a new set, do not spend any more gold on packs or anything else in the game. Just start saving up all the gold you have, and then just only use it for packs once the new set comes out. In theory, with the amount, and again, I'm not good at math, but if I count correctly, from the moment we start previewing a set, like as of today, until Dragonstorm comes out, you should be able to save up at least, if you play like just barely the minimum, like I would say to do, you should in theory have just enough to do at least like 30,000 gold. That should be enough. At least enough to get packs for the next set. Densman, I send gold on cacks. I'm hot trash in drafting. Yeah, I'm not a very good drafter either, so I'll be honest about that. But I would say at this point, unless if you're really building a brand new deck completely right now, I would say hold off. Hold off on anything else you're doing. And the only reason why I'm saying that is by the time Dragonstorm comes out, you should have in theory at least again about 30 to 35,000 gold ready to go, which should be enough to then crack a ton of packs and get you maybe some gold packs too for the next set, if my calculations are correct. Ragavan. Here comes the monkey. Ugh, monkey gonna steal our stuff. No bueno. No me gusta. Oh, they just stole our Basilisk Collar? That's beyond annoying. And there they go. They took our collar, which is gonna mean a problem for us. But okay, we'll try. Scatter Forest. Okay, so with that, Forest. Draw 2. Full hand. Okay, so how do we beat our opponent here? Is there a way to beat our opponent here? Is there a way any out of this at all? Ragavan coming down. No dashing this time. Fevered Visions. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so I guess I'm going to try to then get around things that way. Let us Yavimaya Coast. We'll put down Dream Drew Enhancer and lock out Ragavan for a couple turns. So this does buy us a little bit of time. So now their monkey can't really do anything.
Yeah, I'll start saving up then.
Yeah, I would highly recommend that for you. Start saving now. Don't worry about building a brand new deck until you get to the next set. And then hopefully that should be enough to at least get around things. Okay, we're blocking Siren Storm Tamer. Okay, they draw a card. Okay, so now we came here for a purpose. So Sab-Sunen, here comes mommy, everybody. Hopefully we should be able to then slow down our opponent here. Okay, 22. Draw a card, ping.
Poco Moco Loco.
Hello, my fiery friend. Thanks again for joining us. Just as our opponent's going to steal our commander.
Ugh. Ugh.
Okay. Okay. Do we have anything in hand? Is there anything we have in hand that we can... Okay. Yeah. We'll just put it back in the command zone. Jeez. Alright. Staunch crewmates. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, my fire friend. But as you can see, our opponent here is going off with their pirates, which we actually played this pirate commander in a deck tech last year, so it's a fun commander, but not when we're getting our stuff beaten in here. Okay, paying our opponent for 1, down to 21. Okay, so... Long River Lurker. Okay, make that unblockable. And then... I don't even know what we do at this point. I mean, I can get some free damage here for 18. Well, bring it back. And then, what do we lock out, I guess? Guess we lock out the Storm Tamer again. Okay, draw a card. We get pinged to 7. Okay, it's not looking good for us. Ooh, boy. Well, it is what it is, everybody. Guess we'll just have to take it. Dang. I mean, we're not dead. I mean, we could still chump block. But it's not looking too good right now. Just based on how things are going. Oh, Storm Tamer. Cutlass. They attach it to the pirates. Okay, so in that case, we block here. Admiral Brass dies. Staunch Crewmate goes. Down to 1. But I think their Fevered Visions here pings us. Oh, well, okay, so we do get one more chance here. Oh, I should have put down the Primeval. Never mind. I'm not paying attention to anything today. Yeah, we lost. I should have put down the Primeval Bounty to give us a little bit of life to stabilize, and then I probably could have put in at least something else there, but oh well. Yeah. We had a couple more losses earlier today, but, I mean, the deck actually got some wins today, so, I mean, hopefully we can get a couple more wins in before the end of the stream. I mean, at this point, right now, we're about 3/4 of the way through the stream. And also, we've been having some technical issues because sometimes the stream is not stable. I don't know why. But yeah, we were having some major issues earlier in the stream where things were not doing too well. I think that means that now on Twitch, the stream is probably now fragmented across maybe like 2 different variants or maybe even 3 different streams. So I apologize for that. I don't know if any of the other copies of the stream are fully intact from earlier, but I guess I'll have to check later on the replays. But otherwise, I still appreciate you being here, so thanks again. But don't worry, I'm feeling it this time. This one's going to be the win. We're going to get a win here, and it's going to be awesome. In the meantime, all right, let's get our game face on.
It's time to
Yeah. Okay, now that we're set there, okay, so we got Lush Oasis, Lily Pad, Arcane Signets, some protection with Snakeskin Veil, Seek of the Super. Oh, and we got the Great Henge. If we can get out Sab-Sunen, the Great Henge here will basically just give way too much value for our opponent to deal with. So, they are playing Mural, though, so this is going to be a problem if we don't deal with it quick. So, the only way we can, though, is we just have to overvalue our opponent. There's not too many cards that we hold in the deck that we cast on their turn. So we'll see. We shall see. Thalia. Okay. Thalia could be a problem now for us, because now that slows down our Arcane Signets. That's annoying. Mono White expects stacks. Yeah, if they're playing Thalia already, that's going to be annoying. But we'll try to find a way around it. Arcane Signets. So in theory still, we can get out Sab-Sunen by next turn. If everything lines up correctly. If they play... Oh, they didn't. Okay. But at the same time, it's only awkward because Thalia slows down them... It slows down their deck too because it affects everybody. We'll take 2 damage. Yep. No problem. Well, okay. If that's how our opponent wants to play it, then so be it. That's fine with us. Here it comes. Frog God Mommy, everybody. Do you have an answer against this, opponents? So their only option is they would have to exile something. Let's hope they don't have it. They have plenty of lands, though. Sword of Fortification. Okay. Well, at least that's not bad. I mean, yes, that hurts us because they can get through our Frog Mommy, but that's okay. We can draw some cards here, which is good. At this point now, Oak Hollow Village. Great Henge coming down. So, okay, we got our value engine piece. Gain some life. Ozolith. And we will pass from here. Okay, opponents. Even if they get rid of things now, we have our pieces now to start doing our thing. We just need to start overvaluing them before they can get through us. Okay. We can still do this. And we also have a Snakeskin Veil now for protection, so I think we're in a good spot. I think we are. Sword coming down. They put it on. Okay, well, free hit, so still annoying, but that's okay. We're going all in right now on the Frog Mommy. Can she help us get to victory? She really does have thick thighs, by the way. Okay, they swing it. Down to 19. Free hit against us because of the sword. Anything our opponent has. All right. Do they move the sword? They do. Okay. Okay, so draw 2 cards. Flux Channeler. Get some more cards. More life. We will... District Mascot. Get some more cards. Okay. We're now just going off at this point. So, let's see. Archmage's Charm will not work as long as Muriel's out. So, how do we do this? We also need to make sure we have enough still to protect ourselves. So we could only cast maybe one more spell. Okay, no, hold on. Oh, wait, actually, hold on. Okay, I think we have options here. We'll wait. Oh, hold on, we have to discard a card. Okay. I guess we'll throw away the Pollen Bright Druid. Okay, so... During our turn, opponent can't cast spells or activate abilities of artifacts. Okay, so we can't really do anything yet. This one's got to be the one. I do agree. Although their commander is going to be annoying, we have ways of getting around it. We do have ways around it. So, let's see. Yeah, we can't activate abilities just yet. That's okay. We'll take the hit. That's fine. They're tapped out anyway. And they lose some cards there. Okay. There we go. So, in the meantime, that sword will now go bye-bye. Proliferate. Everything gets bigger. And bigger. Okay, so, feeling good about that. Alright, so let's see. How do we get around stuff here? Scavenger Ground. We will... put that at 11. And, okay. I guess the Informants? I'm trying to get this up to even. Saddle. Do we do a big swing here, I guess? Eventually got to put threats on our opponent here. They probably can block... Oh, wow, they didn't block at all? Okay. I hope that didn't come back to bite us. Okay, so... What do we throw away here? One Miro being out is so annoying for us. I mean, and also I can't put down. I mean, we probably could. Let's see. I don't know. Sink of the Stupor. Okay, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, wait, hold on. We can't block, can we? Oh, jeez. Yeah, I miscalculated again. Oops. I probably should not have swung. So I realize now that was not the best decision. I just couldn't even out the counters with Sab-Sunen. So that's, again, something I emphasize with this deck is something you have to be careful of is with all the doublers that we have, if we don't calculate correctly, we either draw too many cards but we can't block an attack, or we end up not drawing cards we need, but we have only just one big attacker. And I think we kind of messed that up right here. Yeah. All right. That was my mistake, everybody. Oops. Yeah, and also the stacks effects did not help us. We didn't have any way of kind of pushing through that, so that was my fault. That's okay. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Just trying to keep it positive still. We'll then definitely play again,
because we still have a little bit of time left.
and then I'll do, as always, my normal thing. Once we get near the end, we'll do a wrap-up of the deck, talk about the good, the bad, and then we'll show you what is to come later this week for the next set of videos. I also will need to put in one cool recording that I want to do for Ugin, because let's be honest, we have to acknowledge how incredibly powerful Ugin is now that we know what we're expecting with that card. That's okay, though. Hopefully this one will be the one. This should be the one. Okay, so let's see. What do we got here? So we got the Ozolith again still. We got plenty of lands. Amphibian Downpour will be... this will be hilarious if we can just get it to go off. Primeval Bounty can come in later. And Tireless Provisioner can provide us with some extra ramp. So hopefully this will be our victory here. Well, we'll see what happens. Swamp. Okay, Infectious Bite will be good for later for spot removal. Lily Pad Village. All right, opponent, bring it on.
It's time to
Bring it on. Black Cat. Interesting. Okay. We got the Doubling Season, which is nice. Ozolith. All right. So we have plenty of ways of getting a ton of counters. All we just need to do is just start getting some more lands, and I think we should be solid here. Gate to the Afterlife. Oh, okay. I see what they're trying to do here. Okay. Tireless Provisioner. Hopefully this will survive long enough where we can get some value out of it. So a Gate to the Afterlife. Okay. They're going to try to pull off God Pharaoh's Gift, and they're going to try to start reanimating things quick. But we'll see. If we could put on Teysa Karlov Amphibian Downpour, I think that also should lock her out. Okay, nothing yet from our opponents. Okay, so... Get a basic land. We'll get a green source. Alright. Forest. Make a treasure. Fanatic of Ronos. And we will do nothing yet. Okay, so the stage should be set now where we can start actually doing our thing. Teysa. Anything? Okay, opponent does swing. That's fine. Alright. So, here's how we do this. Put a counter on the Provisioner. That turns on Fanatic here, so that's good. We will play Doubling Season. Sink into Stupor. Tapped. We don't want to take too much damage. Make 2 artifacts. Okay. There we go. Okay. Turning everything into frogs. There we go. You're all frogs now. Okay, opponents. You might have to spend a turn or two to turn those back on, but that buys us time. Okay, so I think we should be good here. At least for now. Michael Curse from YouTube. Thanks again for joining us, my fire friend. Welcome to the chat, by the way. How is Froggy coming along? Found her tough to play against in Brawl as mono black. I'm not gonna lie. She can do stuff in budget form, but I think non-budget is the best way to go because you get access to incredibly busted stuff. Because you can see right here with the doubling season, Tireless Provision, we're gonna start getting a ton of treasures out. Sab-Sunen, our Frog Mommy, definitely triggers off a lot of good things here. So, Fanatic of Ronos, 4 mana. Let's see, actually, we don't want to do that just yet. We will, actually, we should just be ramping. Let's just ramp, actually. Actually, no, we got to get rid of that Dictate of Erebos. That's got to go. So that's got to go bye-bye. Okay, so now we're in a good spot here. Let us pass here. No attacks yet. At this point, it's tempting to attack right now, but I want to build up our value just a little bit more. If we can get 1 or 2 more lands, because they're going to try to bring stuff back with... Okay, Luminous Broodmoth. All right. But they're almost out of cards. So I think we should be okay for now. Okay, opponents. Do you have anything for sacrifice? For Teysa? You won't get any triggers, though. Ooh, Final Vengeance. All right. Well, they did find an answer. That's annoying. But it's fine. I'm glad also we kept the Infectious Bite. So, with that, we will get rid of Luminous Broodmoth. Get a poison counter on them. And I think we should be good to go from there. Okay, opponent swinging. Nothing yet. Okay. We will get some counters on it. Infectious Bite. Get rid of the moth. Get a poison counter. Alright. Okay, they draw a card, discard a card. So they're going to try to filter for some answer against us, but they don't have enough mana just yet. We should be able to start swinging now. Okay. Opponents. Okay, so Guild Pack Informant. And now we start swinging with Mommy. Alright, I think we should be good now. I mean, our opponent does have a flying counter on Teysa, which is, I mean, that's not terrible, but we should still be able to push through damage. Down to 19. We will lose the Primeval Bounty, which is unfortunate, but that's going to be a small price to pay for just being able to now put pressure on our opponent quickly here. So they're down to... Still down to 1 card here. Let's keep filtering, I guess. Okay. Or they try to sidestep you with flyers. They could. If we have to, we might have to hold back with Sab-Sunen, but Guild Pack Informant might have to be sacrificed just to block something, but we'll see what happens. They have only 2 cards in hand, and we are empty right now. So this might be a little awkward for us, but we'll try. If we really I mean, we can also just try to put more pressure, because we still have Ozolith to start putting more counters on things, so that's also an option too. And we could really close out this game quickly here. Hopefully. As long as they don't have any other shenanigans. But you'll see. 2 cards in hand, opponent. Come on. What do you got? Show me what you got. Gotta be something. Eaten alive. Well, geez, they did have something. Alright. Dang. Okay. So... that does awkwardly slow us down. Just a little bit. If we can get 1 more land, we can redeploy Sab-Sunen. And we do. Nice. Okay. So. Demolition Field. Make some treasures. And Frog Mommy is back on the field. Alright. Much better, by the way. We will sacrifice those other ones right now. Put some some counters on. Now it's a 4/4. Go swinging. At this point, unless they have more spot removal, I'm pretty sure they'll just let us get the hit in. So, there we go. Down to 14. Nice. And we now get to trigger off Proliferates. Oh my god. There we go. Big creatures now. So our opponent right now has a turn to figure out if they can beat us. 2 cards in hand. Do they have any additional removal? They need another exile effect if they want to get rid of Sab-Sunen. But if we have to, we could sacrifice Demolition Field to get us some more treasures. But we'll see what happens. I am feeling much better about this one. Much better. Man, do I love gods released from Ether. Not much of a fan of the other mechanics, but the gods are solid. If nothing else, that is true, though. At the very least, we actually got some really solid pieces. But I think because of the lack of popularity of Ether Drift, those cards might go up in value a little bit more. Just because of how strong they are. Okay, so we got to draw some stuff there. Wizard class. So, okay, we're going to be able to refuel here, thankfully. Draw some more cards. Cool. All right, so with that, we will play an island. We will make some treasures. And then, let's see. Oh, and our opponent, they've had enough. All right, we got a victory there, everybody. That was nice. Yeah, all right. Okay, that was a good one. We got enough value where our opponent just couldn't handle us, and we were able to refuel with our card draw. Beautiful. Very nice. Okay. Man, I love frogs. I know what I said there, by the way. Okay, so looking at the clock right now, at this point, I think we might have time, depending on how long this one goes, 2 more matches, maybe 1 more match, depending. But at this point, we are getting close to the end of the stream. And as much as, again, I appreciate all of you being there, sadly, this little fireball, of course, and his, I guess you could say his content manager, both of us are going to have to get going soon. But don't worry. Once we get to the very end of this, we will, of course, we'll talk about what is to come in the future, so you guys don't miss out on what we are going to be playing on the weekend. So we're going to have some more fun with another deck tech coming up soon. Also, I'm in the process, of course, of finishing up, or at least getting through the edits for our next deck tech, which hopefully should be ready by Monday morning. But again, we're a little bit delayed this week. Just we've had a really funky schedule. Either way, I still appreciate all y'all. So thank you again. But with that, let's get back to the game. So with that, forest. Bushwhack. We need to start getting our lands. So with that, forest. And our opponent is playing a Deathrite Shaman right off the bat, so they're definitely going to try to start eating stuff. They have Lathril too. Okay. We did play Lathril on stream a couple months ago. So yeah, still solid, no matter how you play her. Michael, one may say your frog leaped that. Okay, I see what you did there. I love a good cheesy joke. Swinging opponents? Okay. So no ramp yet. They just want to do some damage. Well, we have our own Graveyard Hate too against our opponent here. So we'll see who gets who first. Scavenging Ooze. Do you have an answer, opponents, for our Ooze? Oh, that reminds me. That actually is an idea that I actually want to put together. I'll have to scribble this one down too. So maybe one of our other future decks, I do want to do an Ooze deck. We've had enough Oozes now across the past couple months that I think we have enough, along with also Slime Against Humanity, to really give us a really fun Ooze deck for Brawl. I got to cook that one up at some point. So that's probably going to be maybe in a week or so, once we get some time. All right, Island. But we'll worry about that once we worry about that, I guess you could say. Clifftop Lookout. Let's get some lands. All right. Verge land, no problem. Okay, Tangle Brule will help us out, but we still need... Okay, Oracle. Okay. Opponent is not playing any punches with this one. Maybe no removal, but they'll definitely start making a ton of elves quick. 3-Tree City. Yep. Okay. So they eat one of their own. They make a mana. Skemfar. Okay. Michael, by the way, are any of the spoiler cards today standing out to you especially? Okay. We talked about it with some of the others that were on stream earlier, but Ugin is just broken. Let's be real. Ugin is really, really strong. I think he's actually better than the original. I'm just going to say that now. I think he really is. Okay, opponent is going to make some tokens. So I think And I'm going to plan, of course, on building with the new Ugin. I guess you could say Nugan, if you will. But seriously, though, he is good. Ramp, card draw, and life gain. Mix him in and find a way if you could put both him and the old Ugin in, and you're going to be unstoppable with that combo. But we'll look at it. We did kind of do an Ugin deck last summer, but it's going to be, of course, something that we're going to want to look at again now that we have a little bit more to work with here. Okay, in any case, though, let's see. Let's see. I guess Archer is Charm. Put a counter. Take out Lathril. Okay. As tempting as it was to get that land drop, we need to make sure that we can keep Lathril off the field for a little bit longer. Okay. No attacks. And then as far as the other cards, I don't know. I have to kind of look through the list again to see, like, what am I missing? There's definitely some stuff that I want to talk about. And I know I'll have to... Well, of course, we'll try to see if I can make a couple of videos for that in the future. But definitely I'm going to talk about Ugin, at least in a short. Maybe I can try to record that before I leave today. We shall see, though. It's definitely a powerful card. Dense Splinit. Okay, I'll go to sleep. Take care. Okay, oh, that's right. I forgot you're halfway across the world right now, Dense Splinit. Well, have a good night, my fire friend. Thanks again for joining us, as always. We'll see you next time. And always be sure to burn bright. Later. Okay. Meanwhile, Sab-Sunen coming in. Frog mommy, everybody. Yeah, she's back. All right. So... just keep it there for now. No attacks yet. So the good news, at least with this setup right now, is we can block for a little bit here. Alright, they will drain us a bit. That's okay. We also have the Great Henge coming up, so I think this should help us now finally go off. We'll see. We shall see. Sunslayer, Ruthlessa. Ugh. Bit of a threatening card there. Vanquisher's Banner. Okay. They picked white. Okay. I mean, I guess that's fine. Okay. Golgari Charm. Nothing. They're going to take our last card. They can if they want to. Opponents. Okay, don't keep me waiting too long. Okay. Down to 17. Okay. Do you swing? If we can just survive a turn here with the Great Henge out, I think we might have a way of fighting our way through this. Hopefully. But we'll see. Alright. In the meantime, we got a block here. It's not a very good block. Yeah. Ugh. I don't want Lathril to go off, but we might not have a choice with this one. Let's see, Oracle, yeah. There's not really a good block with this one. I can block here, and I guess Oracle would go. Or maybe, okay. Can't get too many cards off of that. Ugh. I don't know if we're going to be able to survive this one. Tameo safekeeping. Okay, so they did have protection after all. Joy. Okay. Well, they do lose their commander. So, the only way out of this now is we need to find a way to have massive life gain. And we did not get it, but okay. Great Henge coming down, so we might as well get some value back. We will... okay. Yeah. Dang. I don't think we're going to be able to get through this one. We can draw a card off of here. Proliferate. Oak Hollow Village. Ball Again Recovery. Clifftop Lookout. But yeah, yeah, there's just no way around this one. All right. And I mean, even if I swing too, it won't matter. We're just going to lose no matter what we do. Glissa alone is also a pain. I mean, our creature is still indestructible, but there's just no option there. Okay. Well, yeah, we tried. But elves are just too good. Elves are just very strong. I've shown that off on the previous stream when we used Lathril. Golgari Charm. Not that that matters. Alright, opponent. Just go ahead and get your swing in. We can't beat you on this one. It's a shame, but oh well. But yeah, I think if we only just were able to get some lifelink here, we probably could have at least stabilized for a little bit longer, but we just couldn't make it. Oh. They don't want to... Wait. Why did they not swing with everything? They probably could have won there. I'm very confused. Still very confused about that choice, but okay. In any case, I mean, I guess if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. Still kind of confused about that choice in attack, but okay. Okay. We gain some life. Draw some more cards. So let's see. Ornery Tumblewag. Get this counter. Draw a card. Okay. Command Tower. Clifftop Lookout. Draw a card. Let's see. Michael, does Green Blue even have ways to deal with Go Wide boards? They have Cyclonic Rift, and we actually do have in our upgraded version Cyclonic Rift, but I don't know if we have a way to get to it fast enough, and I don't think we will. Just because of how this deck runs, there's not really too many options here. I mean, I could still, like, Prologue to Phyresis, draw a card, give a poison counter to them, Pawn Profit. So we have a way of kind of protecting ourselves for a little bit longer here, but it's not going to be... Let's see. I mean, Oh, actually, I probably should have put... Okay. Okay. I think I messed up there. What I should have done was put the counter on Sab-Sunen, so Sab-Sunen cannot block for a turn. So, at this point, the only hope I have right now is if they don't hard swing at me, and I can just... Yeah. Yeah, I think I messed up that play right there. So they're going to go off with all their elves. And the only way, again, is just if I have Cyclonic Rift. But I'm not going to probably get that in time. I could block with 3 creatures. But if they swing with everything now, it's game over. Oh well. Well, we gave it a try. But yeah, the only effects that you have in green would be fog effects, mass fight mechanics, which are kind of rare. And the only other option would be, yeah, you just need a blue spell to like bounce everything away. But they're going off here. We have no way of stopping this. We tried. We really did try. I mean, we're starting to draw cards with the Great Henge, but it just was not enough. Okay. Well. Okay, so get your swinging opponents. And I guess this will probably be it for us, everybody. Well, as much as I don't like going out on a loss for the end of a stream, it happens. So we still got some wins today. For those of you that didn't get a chance to see them, do not worry. The replay will be up later today. Or at least I'll try to get together as much of the replay. Oh, they didn't swing? Why are they not swinging? I'm so confused. Mistakes happen. You're not just a fire elemental, not like Jace. No one likes Jace. That is kind of true, though. I mean, I don't know if our opponent's just sandbagging us at this point. Are they trying to be nice to us? Don't get me wrong. I mean, I would like to keep playing, but... I mean, opponent, if you have the win, just take the win. At least that's how I see it. Okay, Fanatic of Ronos. I guess we'll just keep drawing cards. Okay, Hardened Scales. Guess we'll put that in. Sky Serpent. Alright, I mean, if our opponent wants to give us a bit of a chance here, I guess I'll just take it. I guess I shouldn't complain. It's better than nothing. So at this point, we'll need to make sure we keep evens on Sab-Sunen. So no matter what we do at this point, we need to actually... Okay. Stand over to Augury. Long River Lurker. Proliferate everything. Okay. In that case, I guess we'll try this. Counter. Okay. Tumblewag. It's another counter. I guess we'll just not attack then. Hold on. I mean, we're in a really scary spot right now. We're not dead. Oh, actually, never mind. Yeah. Can't turn off the trigger. All right. So our opponent just wanted to be as splashy as possible here. I mean, at this point, the only thing I could just do is just bounce one thing away, which is definitely not enough. Okay, opponents. Come on. Yeah. So that's what our opponent tried to do there. They just try to get as splashy as possible. All right. I mean, still annoying. They could have just saved us the time there, but hey, it is what it is. Okay. It's fine. I mean, for a second there, I was like, are they just trying to set up something crazy there, or they just want to just show off? Either way, they flexed. I'll just take the L. But hey, you win some, you lose some. I still had fun. So if nothing else, let's now wrap this up by talking about the deck as a whole. So first off, the original Frog God Mommy deck. So this version is, I believe right now, $70 if you want to put this together in paper, if you were interested in maybe getting started with Sab-Sunen and you wanted to put this together on a cheap budget. So it's that much. I believe in Arena, it's about 13, 14 rares. So that's honestly pretty budget for an Arena deck. So I had fun with it. This deck can go off once you have things set up. Just know that the biggest, trickiest thing with this deck is you need to know when to put counters on Sab-Sunen, because there's moments you want to have the card draw, but you want to make sure that's, if you want to attack with Sab-Sunen, you have to have an even amount. And I will emphasize this one more time, because also we did run into it a couple times because we fumbled a handful of matches. Be mindful of when you add on additional counters, because remember that if you do flip from odd to even or even to odd, you might put yourself in an awkward state where you cannot block or you cannot attack. And if you do that, and say like you put down a hardened scales, or you put down anything else that does things like branching evolution or Ozlith, and remember that these will double up your counters. So that means that might lock you into an awkward state where you cannot draw cards anymore with Sab-Sunen, or you might not be able to attack anymore. So be mindful of that, regardless of whether you play this on a budget or you play this non-budget. Still, I'm actually still satisfied with the card. Very powerful card if you are really good at managing your counters. So just keep that in mind if you do want to play this card and this deck in general. I really enjoyed, of course, the upgraded version. The upgraded version, of course, is going to be very expensive, though. I think it is. Like this version today in paper is like, I think like $400. So I wouldn't recommend, obviously, pay $400 for a deck up front. If you want to, hey, that's your choice with your money. But honestly, if you want to play Sab-Sunen on a budget, the one that we had earlier today, really solid, but you can use this as maybe an example of an upgrade path if you are interested. Michael, I'll give you props for not having gone deep into counterspell fling territory. That would have been the easy way out. You're not wrong. I did think about that early on, but I was like, that's not my style. I'm not really much of like a combo person that way, and I don't like counterspelling too much. I am more of a player that likes to just build value over the time and just overwhelming your opponent with the insane amount of value that a couple of cards on the battlefield can do. So that's my style of gameplay. I guess I'm more of a mid-range than more of a control / combo player. At least That's how I am. But interesting you pointed that out, so thanks again for that. I'll take the compliment, of course. I do appreciate that. Now, with this deck, if you want to look at either list and maybe you like the list, maybe you enjoy it, or maybe you might want to say like, hey, I like what you have Infernoman, but maybe I want to do my own version. Don't worry. Once we're done here, I'll leave a link, of course, in the details of both of the on this, so you can kind of like click on it and then kind of tweak it however you like. So we'll keep that in mind. Now, for those of you that are still watching at this point, thanks again, as always. You are my true fiery friends who have hung in there with me through the good and bad matches. And of course, we'll kind of give you, as you can see on screen right now, you kind of get an idea of what is to come down the future. So coming up, our next big deck tech is going to be an Affinity Blast deck. We got one cool card that is actually one of my favorite burn spells that we managed to get from Ether Drift, and that is going to be part of this deck, an Affinity Blast deck for the Timeless format. So that'll be hopefully coming ready to go next week on Monday morning. So I'm planning on doing that. I am going to try to edit this like crazy. I just need to get a couple more gameplay footages about this, and we should be good to go with this coming up. Otherwise, for the next stream, we're going to be jumping again into one of my favorites, cats. I'm not, again, actually a cat person. I actually prefer dogs, but in Arena, oh yeah, cats are fun. So Meow Mix is coming up over the weekend. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that one. As far as the Basically series is concerned, we're still having a little bit of time to do some work on our final 5 color decks. We have gone through every single color combination in Arena on a budget of no rares and no mythics. So the final set are going to be, of course, 5 color decks. We're working on possibly a Knights deck or a Vampires deck for the final 5 color Basically deck tech. But that's going to be coming down the line a little bit later on once I have that finalized. Otherwise, in terms of any other decks that we're going to be looking at doing, let's see. So Lucky Strike went up, of course, yesterday for St. Patrick's Day. So if you haven't already seen it, check that out. We're still kind of working on our Lotus Hailfire deck, although it's getting a little clunky, but maybe I might save this one for a stream. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. We'll kind of play around with it. And then finally, maybe another one, this will probably be a deck tech, is going to be the Recycler. So this will be something fun that I'm looking forward to doing in the Explorer format for, again, another future deck tech. Or again, it might be a streamable deck. We'll see what comes up in the future. But otherwise, that's mostly it for today, everybody. I don't have much else to say except I had fun with the deck. Definitely, I would recommend the upgraded version if you can afford it. But the basic version today at least gets you started with something on a budget before you build into something more powerful if you are interested. So with that, let's give, of course, a final shout out to everyone that was watching today. So again, appreciate all of you. So Den Splendid, I know you're already gone, but thanks again for being here earlier today, my fiery friend. Min, I know you were kind of trying to watch me across multiple different formats. So thanks again for doing that from across. I know you jumped onto Instagram, you jumped onto YouTube, and you jumped onto Twitch. So thank you again for just trying to watch the stream wherever you could. So appreciate you as always. Poco Moco Loco, I know whether you're there or not, thanks again for popping in earlier today. Appreciate you for doing that for just even a hot minute. And Michael, thanks again for joining us near the end of the stream. Appreciate you at least watching us for the time being. Thanks again for your support, for watching and enjoying what we did. So with that, we're going to be ending it there, everybody. And again, you'll be seeing me, of course, later on this week. I will, of course, announce when the next time for the next stream is. I think we're looking at maybe Saturday or Sunday for that one. So be on the lookout. I'll make announcements across everything. If you have not done so, join the Discord. We're going to be talking, of course, about the spoiler cards across and then whatever you want to on there and anything else that kind of comes into my mind. But otherwise, that is it, everybody. Have a wonderful day. I hope, again, we're going to have some fun with Tarkir Dragonstorm when that set comes out. That's going to be an amazing set from what I see. Man, we're going to have some busted stuff coming up soon. So we definitely have to talk about that when we can. But otherwise, that's all I have for you today, except one more final thing I do want to say, everybody. Just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We'll see you this weekend, everybody. Later.